Can we start with your latest team news, please?
The latest team news is from last weekend, from our last game. Everybody should be available. We have uncertainties about Danny Welbeck, and Mustafi is out, and that's it.
What about David Ospina and Lucas Perez? They're not.
Ospina is out. Lucas Perez is out still. You know, there are longer term injuries. Ospina could be back in 10 days.
And Jeffrey and Adelaide?
Adelaide is out until the end of the season for an ankle problem.
Of course, the news broke yesterday that Jack Wilshere has broken his leg. Have you spoken to him yet at all?
Not recently, no, because I follow the situation closely because he's a specialist. We think it's a very simple fracture that doesn't need any surgery at all, and that hopefully he will be back. He will be back in July for normal training.
Of course, Jack's fought back from some serious injuries in the past as well, and I guess that application will be important again now.
Yeah, of course, but I think it's a very simple fracture, you know, and of the fibula, and that we need patience, and let's hope that all goes well.
What was your reaction when you saw Jack injured, and what can you tell us about the treatment he will receive? Will it be here at Arsenal, or will it be down at Bournemouth?
Well, until the end of the season, it's a play of Bournemouth, but we have a good understanding with the medical staff. I had a meeting yesterday with our medical staff to see how we can liaise, and if we have to bring him back, because it's a fracture, basically it's not a lot to do. You know, it's just when he can move again. The rehab will be certainly made here because the season will be over, and during the because the loan spell ends at the end of the season. So during the break, I think all the rehab will be made here.
How did you feel when you saw him injured again?
Sad, because it's a player. Jack is a great football player, a great football brain, and yes, his career has been stopped by many injuries. And you know, today at the top level, the most important thing is the consistency of the presence. When the player has been out for a while, the game is of such an intensity that it takes you always a while to find the rhythm, the confidence back. And a great career doesn't suffer stop and go. You know, it's you have to be consistently present. When you look at all the players who are at the top level of the world, like Ronaldo, all these guys, they play 50 games per year or 60 games per year. They have a luck not to be stopped by injuries. And so you're always sad when a guy of that quality is stopped by problems.
Do the club still intend to sit down with Jack and offer him a new contract?
Yeah, that's something different. And I think this injury has nothing to do with the extension of Jack's contract.
Do you think he will sign an extension?
I don't know. We haven't entered into any negotiation yet.
When will you enter into negotiations?
I think for all these cases, there is only 1 year to go during the break.
What about this FA Cup semi-final? What are you expecting from it, and how is confidence in your team at the moment?
Look, what I expect when you go in the semi-final is to go to the final. You know, I think somebody told me that I played 11 semi-finals in the FA Cup, so that means it's a great experience, and it's always something special. I remember my first one. We just spoke about it when we played at Villa Park against Wolves. That's a day where I realized how big the club is, how much it means to our supporters, because suddenly the stadium is divided in two in an away game, and you fans are all there. So it's a special experience, and for us, I think we are focused, highly motivated, maybe not at the maximum of our confidence, because we had recently some disappointing results, but that is a good opportunity to show that how much we are ready for a fight and how much we want to go to the final, because it's our maybe only opportunity to get a trophy this season.
Is your priority now this season an FA Cup trophy or a top 4 finish in the Premier League?
Look, you don't think about it like that, because we have not to make a choice. We are not in a position where we can have to make a choice. Do we choose this or that? The next game is a semi-final of the FA Cup, so we have to give absolutely everything to go to the final.
Not long to go now before the transfer window reopens. What can you tell us about your pursuit of Ziad Kolasinac at Schalke? Have Arsenal
Nothing.
offered him a new contract? A contract, sorry.
Nothing, no. No, we can deny that story at the moment.
Is he a
Nothing
player
has
that
been
you're interested
concluded with anybody.
in? Are you in talks to sign him?
I think it's important we don't talk about transfers, but about the semi-final of the FA Cup on Sunday.
But just to be clear on this, Arsene, have you told your players or potential new signings that you're staying at the club for 2 more seasons?
No,
You've not told them, or you're not staying?
I didn't tell anything to anybody.
Can we expect an update soon on your future?
No, update is my commitment is total and only focused on Arsenal.
How important is the FA Cup in determining your decisions? How important is the FA Cup in determining your future?
Doesn't play any part in that, you know. The FA Cup is a very important game for me, because it's the next game, and because it's an opportunity, as I just told you, to win a trophy this season. And so of course we are all fully focused on that. My future is Sunday.
Just on Jack, up until his injury, had he done everything at Bournemouth that you hoped he would?
Yeah, because he got what was the most important. We had many midfielders here, and he couldn't guarantee him to get 30 games, and he got that at Bournemouth. So of course, on that front, it was a positive experience for him.
I mean, he's 25 now. And
Still young.
I mean, he's had such a terrible run of injuries throughout his career. Is there any doubt in your mind that he may never reach his full potential and be fit for a long period of time?
No, the doubt is that, as I told you, you need to go on a football pitch and not to worry to be injured, you know. And I believe overall he had a positive season on that front. That is purely accidental. It was a tackle, I think, with Kane. That was accidental. Could have happened even if he had no problem ever before.
You haven't actually spoken to Jack yet, have you?
Not yet, no. I think he'll come here next week.
What can you take from the 2-2 draw against City recently into this game? What can you take from that?
About?
You're playing City this weekend, you played them not that long ago. What do you think you learned from that 2-2 draw?
Well, that they are a team who is very positive going forward. They like to have the ball. They like to take initiative, and we do as well. So on that front, in our last game, I think it was quite 50-50 on the possession front. So overall, I think it could be a very intense game with two teams trying to go forward. Could be a very spectacular game once the first goal is scored. So let's hope we score the first.
You used a back three on Monday night at Middlesbrough. Is that an option for you this weekend?
It's part of it is an option, yes, but what will I do? You will understand that I don't tell you now.
No, sure. But does that the fact that you use that system, does that give you a bit more unpredictability, do you think, for teams who set up against you?
You know, it was more destined to give us a bit more defensive solidity, because recently away from home we conceded too many goals.
Arsenal, in a sense, using that back three, is it convince others that there is that adaptability in your side?
Of course, but I think the definition of a good football player is that he's adaptable to any situation, because what makes football rich is that it's 11 against 11, and you have billions of different situations possible, and where the players have every time to make the right decision. So if you're not adaptable, you're not a top level player.
This is a competition, of course, that you have great success in, but this team have won the FA Cup 2 out of the last 3 seasons. Is there more confidence in this competition?
Look, we have, of course, we are ambitious because we have done it before and we know we can do it. But in the previous semi-finals, as you know, we were super favourites, so the problem was a little bit different. In this time, it is between 2 teams in the Premier League who are very close to each other, so it is much more levelled on chances at the start. So we know we have absolutely to be at our best to qualify.
You have a record equalling wins in this competition. Tell me, you must feel very at home at Wembley. What memories do you have when you walk into that corridor by the dressing room?
Funny wise, because my memories are the old Wembley, because it's the first time I played 98, I think, against Newcastle in the final. So for me, it was when I was a kid, I watched the games at Wembley on television. So that was the first time for me to reach Wembley and go in the final was something special. Now we have been a bit more used to it, you know, and the new Wembley is more stadium like you meet, a new stadium like you meet everywhere. And but it's still massive, and it's still for me what is great at Wembley is that you see your fans coming in, and it's a unique experience for them, their children in life that they never forget, and you want them to be pleased when they come out of it and go home.
But do you feel at home at Wembley?
I feel happy to be there. Home is a bit exaggerated, but we have played a few games recently, yes. We know exactly what is expecting us. We know both dressing rooms because we've been in both. And the pitch is much better than it was before. And so overall, we feel we will not feel lost there.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,